Today we're going to look at the 24-25 Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle. Now, Stephon Castle won this by essentially being the starting point guard, or maybe you could say second point guard for the San Antonio Spurs. He had a great year, and we're going to discuss some of the excellent features that he brings to the table, and potentially one feature he's lacking that I'd be curious to see if grows or not. Let's go. All right, so the first one is going to be him on defense here. So we can see that he's guarding Devin Booker. I think this is an absolutely crucial role. Stephon Castle is extremely athletic, and so being able to guard the offense's best player, I think is extremely crucial and bodes very, very well for his future. And this moving into transition right here, I wouldn't say that he's maybe the most explosive athlete where he's just trying to always get to the rim in transition, but he does use transition to try and get openings, and the Spurs aren't a team that really plays with pace, so him being able to create some openings, we can see the shooter over here, I think is a relatively good sign. But two of the areas I think he really brings to the table that are quite well is his athletic ability going downhill. I think he drives very well. I think he's pretty smart when he drives as well. So on this back cut right here, Gershov, good pass by this player, and he gets the ball into the middle, and he's not really hesitating. He's going up, going into contact, making sure he gets a foul, and finishing stronger on the rim. In this game, he didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to just drive straight up, because if we look at the Suns' defense, I mean, they're playing like pretty aggressively pack line, and I don't know if this is a testament to maybe the Spurs' lack of shooting on the perimeter, or if the Suns just play defense this way. But you can see he does a good job of still getting to the rim, or getting to the paint, deep in the paint, despite the traffic near him. Obviously, if you draw attention like this, you're probably not going to be able to shoot the layup, but he does a good job finding the open body on the inside and putting a good pass to him. And the thing that impressed me the most in this game was actually his ability to pass. I thought he did a really good job in the ball screen, which the Spurs ran a lot of, in making the right read, making good, simple passes when they were open. Does a good job getting to the rim right here, draws the big's attention right here, and so that makes it so the post player is going to be open, and puts a good pass after the post player commits, which I like that a lot. So on this drive, it's so important that you make sure that the post player right here, number 4, gets him to commit to you before you pass it, because then he's not able to recover, and does a great job getting him in the air and then pass it to 18. And 18 misses it, but that's still a good job by Castle. And the Suns aren't exactly known for having just absolutely elite defense, but that being said, Castle still did a good job taking advantages when they were there. So here we can see that for some reason, Plumlee follows Castle here, and they switch back to where Booker goes out here on the perimeter, and you're left with Plumlee on Castle. This seems like a mistake. But anyway, Castle's like, okay, well, I have the speed advantage. I'm going to attack him, and he does a good job getting that first step. And I like this cut, actually, from the Spurs. That was a really good cut, and Castle puts it right on the money to him, and he misses. But again, it was a good job by Castle. And the ultimate next level of this is essentially whether he can make not only the pass that's 1 read away, but the pass that's 2 reads away. And this is where it gets much more difficult. So we're watching essentially Devin Booker over here, and his help is going to be a crucial factor here. Okay, so he's going to step over to make sure the roller is essentially covered. And so Castle's trying to hit this player over here. And so what we notice is this pass is the right idea. However, it is a little low and a little off target. Maybe he was hoping the player would drift up a little bit. But seeing him able to make that read, I think, is a crucial next step for his development. And it's really good to see, even if it is slightly off where he expected the player to be. It still was a good idea of the pass. And so then we get to the idea that I think is probably the most important for his future, and that would be his jump shot. So he shot quite a few jumpers in this game, was willing to shoot just inside the three-point line. And I'm not a huge fan of this shot unless your name is like Kevin Durant, but that being said, he did shoot it with good efficiency in this game, and he shot it with okay efficiency throughout the year. He shot 2-pointers with 50% efficiency, and I think that's okay because he shot them fairly good at the rim, which is a good sign. However, I'd say the big issue is the 3-point percentage. Now, the nice thing is that the 3-point percentage actually went up from his last year in college to this year in the NBA, and the threes are obviously longer, better defenders. So I think that's a really good sign for him. But he did only shoot 28% on the year. And so if defenses are going to essentially sag off you on the perimeter because they don't need to respect your 3-point shooter, it could potentially really, really hamper his ability to make an impact on a good team like in the playoffs. His true shooting percentage of players that played enough minutes of 204, he was 185th out of them. So obviously still struggled with the overall shooting percentage relative to the baseline of the NBA athlete. That being said, the fact that he's gotten better over the past 2 years, I think is a super crucial aspect. So I still am actually pretty optimistic about Castle. I think he has quite a bit of athletic ability, which is a huge important baseline for him to be working with. So he can guard good players, he can create offense, and that gives him a great baseline to start with. And the second thing I really, really like is his ability to pass. I think that's so crucial because he's going to create a lot of offense. And so if he's able to capitalize on that offense, it also gives him a huge amount more options on whichever team he's going to play for. And then third, the last thing I really like is the fact that he improved three-point percentage. I think he understands that that's where he needs to grow. And I'm assuming he's working on it extensively in practice. And I think that's a really good sign in general. And so I look forward to see what the future holds for Stephon Castle. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. Most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.